This week's question actually came from a friend of mine with whom I used to work at the law firm many years ago. And she was one of the many friends who inspired me to publish my letters and diary entries in the book, Buddhist Boot Camp, because she found them inspiring and motivating in that even though she couldn't do what I did at the time, which was leave the corporate world, sell everything I own, and move to Hawaii, she still found it inspiring to know that her job at the firm wasn't the end-all be-all, that there's life beyond the fluorescent lit cubicle, so to speak. And even though normally, I would be all about work less and live more, her circumstances were different. She had kids, a mortgage. She couldn't do what I did. So she stayed, knowing that it's just what she needs to do at the time until it's no longer necessary. When I read her question, keep in mind that I know this person very well. She's extremely dedicated and a very, very hard worker, which actually takes a toll on her. She gets very personally involved with the cases and takes a lot of the stress in and the bureaucracy and the dynamics and the drama of the office. And it can be very exhausting, especially when in addition to that, you have a few kids at home. Her question was brief. She said, "Timber, I'm seriously considering resigning from my job tomorrow. I don't have anything lined up at the moment, but I'm not fearful of finding employment. At this point, it's better for my health and the well-being of my kids to leave and start fresh. Am I crazy for thinking this? Your advice is requested from your very stressed friend." My response to her was as follows. I said, "My dear friend, instead of letting go of the job, have you considered letting go of caring about the outcome of your work? And what I mean is doing the best you can with the energy you have today, not compared to the energy that you had when you were young, enthusiastic paralegal looking to impress the people she thought were her superiors, only to later discover she's inferior to none. What if you just did the work without taking any of it in? You see, it's often not the load that breaks our backs, but the way we carry it. What's bad for your health is the stress, which you might create even if you had a part-time job washing dishes in the back of a restaurant. I'm only inviting you to experiment with caring a little less about work and caring a lot more about how many times you smile at your desk throughout the day, because in reality, none of it matters. It's just a job. And if you're really lucky, maybe you'll get fired for caring a lot less, and then you can collect some unemployment. Then we can talk about you taking a long vacation." What I'm suggesting isn't to be careless. I hope that comes through in this video as well as it did in the letter to her. I'm not suggesting to give up. I'm inviting her to not take it so personally, not put such a high importance on the cases that she works in. I mean, this isn't brain surgery. I'm not suggesting that she, take the medical field loosely. We're talking about a paralegal at a law firm. None of the stuff we ever worked with is really that important. And yet the level of stress there is so high because we think it's so important. We're led to believe by the attorneys we work with that it's so important. When is everything due? It's due yesterday. And so we're always just trying to stay ahead. But what if she just took a step back and just did the best she could? There are only so many hours in the day. There's only so much she can do. And when it's done, at the end of the day, just bow out, go home. Now, normally, I'd be the one encouraging her and everyone to work less and live more. But the solution is not for all of us to quit our jobs and move to Hawaii. It's not for everyone. And working at a job does not have to be stressful. I think that's my point, is that we can just treat it as it is. It's just a job. This isn't something that she's passionate about. This isn't something that she really cares about. It's just something she takes very personally. And that's where the damage is done, so to speak. It's not the job. It's, as I said in the letter, it's not the load that breaks our backs, but the way we carry it. So I hope that we can all take this as an invitation to just ease our grip a little bit. if you find yourself white knuckling through anything, just kind of let go a little bit and just acknowledge that there's only so much you can do. Do the best you can, and balance. The amount of energy you're putting into work is the amount of energy you're putting into working on your own inner peace and your health.